One of the most pivotal moments in my entire life was the day we arrived to Marrakesh, Morocco, after a really long, horrendous journey from the desert that wasn't very well planned by the fellow travelers. And they all decided they were going to go back to Spain. And I thought, oh, well, I just got here. I don't want to go back to Spain already. We've been in Morocco for 6 days. It's cheaper, and I'm ready for some time alone. So we said goodbye, and it was like 115 degrees or something ridiculous like that. I was so hot, so I said, you know, I'm gonna go look for a swimming pool somewhere. And I walked from my hotel, or from the hostel, forever, felt like, and asking in different hotels if I could use the pool. And finally, the third hotel, they said, yeah, you can pay and use the pool. So I went in to use the pool, and it was me and 3 young Moroccan guys and an older Moroccan guy. And I thought, great, really awkward, you know. I'm going to just start talking to them because I'm sure that will help, maybe, instead of them just talking about me, which I'm sure they're doing. And so I started to speak to them in French. And of course they loved that, and we ended up talking for 4 more hours, and 4 more of their friends came to the pool, and we were just chatting. And eventually one of them said, well, what are you doing tonight? Come to my house for dinner. And I said, oh, okay, you know, of course, because I want to have this local experience. However, still thinking about if that's the right thing to do or not. They came to my hostel and picked me up, and I got on the back of the motorbike. You know, sometimes you think, how do you get in these situations? But you do it, you know, I think with care. And so it seemed fine to me. It didn't seem like there was any harm. And we took the motorbike all through the Medina, which are these winding cobblestone streets, you know, no cars allowed, practically running people over, having to stop and turn tiny corners, until we get to this big arched wooden door. We knock and we go into an old riad, which is that kind of enclosed house that has a central open patio area. And his mom had made, of course, the most delicious dinner, Moroccan, you know, home-cooked meal. And his sister was the #1 English speaker in her high school, so she was talking to me. And that crazy uncle was there to make jokes and act funny, which he's still doing. And after I was there until midnight, and I said I need to get a taxi back to my hostel, they wouldn't let me go. And we'd just been really absorbed in this whole experience, having a wonderful time, and I thought this hospitality is remarkable. I have never experienced such kind of hospitality anywhere else. Well, the mom wouldn't let me leave, and ended up giving me a nightgown to wear that night to sleep over. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what you do when you're trying to have an adventure. And the next day they took me back to get my bag from the hostel, and I went back to their house. They said, stay as long as you like. So I stayed 2.5 months and became part of their family. And then I ended up going back the next summer to live with them. I see them all the time. You know, I take my groups to have dinner with them. I'm still part of their family. You know, they're my mom, uncle, brother, and sister. And I feel like that evening was, I mean, a change, really. I mean, that's where I started learning Arabic, was at their house with my sister teaching me. You know, that's where I started wandering the Medinas of Marrakesh in my mom's jalaba, which is the traditional woman's clothing. If I hadn't had that experience, I don't think I wouldn't have been hired as a guide in Morocco, wouldn't have met my husband there in Morocco, you know, wouldn't have done probably everything else in my life that I've done. So it was a very memorable moment and an extreme example of the kinds of wonderful situations you can find yourself in while you're traveling alone or with other people, but usually alone.